Hello everyone, I have a really unique opportunity here where I've got both the Tic Watch Pro LTE and the Tic Watch Pro Bluetooth. So I thought I would do a little comparison. To start off with the styling, the LTE version, I like this band more. It feels rubbery, this feels leathery. When you flip this over, it's rubbery on the back, and this one's rubbery both sides. You get way more notches, way more close together, so getting it to the right size for your wrist is better and easier, as well as, on the back side, this has some curve, this has some contour to it. This is just a flat band, and it makes the bump of this much more harsh. You feel more like you have a block on your wrist with this band compared to the one you get with the Pro, with the LTE version. MSRP of the Bluetooth is $250. MSRP of the LTE is $300. And I won't go into like what kind of deals and discounts are going on, but I will put on the screen what I paid for each. And yeah, I won't go into the timing of how it worked out, but to keep it simple, I got the Bluetooth first. Now I'm returning it and keeping this. Other than the bands, they have changed the face up a little bit. The Bluetooth, the bezel is bigger, and you can read the numbers 65, 10, 15, 20 much better. The LTE, they did this weird thing where it's very hard for me to show, but they essentially made half of this bezel a texture, and they shrunk the numbers down. So the space the numbers in is cut in half, and it's both a pro and a con. It makes the screen pop, and my phone's camera, I feel like, shows what this looks like in real life really well. The screen on the LTE kind of just feels bigger. It's an optical illusion. The bezel is the same size, the housing is the same size. The casing and the metal seems like they've anodized it darker, but the bezel feels so much smaller the way they've cut it in half and made it a texture. And now the con is, the numbers are harder to read. So when you're using just an aesthetic watch face, it's much harder to read your 60, your 5, your 10, your 15. So it's both a pro and a con. I'm pretty sure these are identical screen sizes, identical metal casings. Anodization is just much darker on the LTE, and they made half the bezel. They cut that space that the numbers are in down and made it textured. So yeah, pro and a con. Also too, I still don't know Android really well. One's a power button, one's a home button, and one of these has a texture to them, the other one doesn't, versus on the Bluetooth, they're both untextured, unmarked buttons. So beside the aesthetics, like, it's kind of a toss-up. The price difference I paid between the two was like $10 or $15 or something. Again, I'll put that on screen, but to keep it simple, like, the $10, $15 to me is worth it alone just for a nicer band. This 10 holes, 9 holes, and I've only had this for like a week, and already the hole I've used is stretched where it's half lever on top. Yeah, this is just more comfortable, surprisingly. Okay, now to talk about specs. LTE has 1 gigabyte, Bluetooth has half a gigabyte, and it makes a world of a difference. I originally had this, it was all I used and knew, but now that I've tested the 1 gigabyte version, this is unusable garbage, and this is blazing fast. It is literally that night and day. It is literally that big of a difference. I don't know how they can still sell this with 1 gigabyte of RAM. It's unusable garbage. And the 1 gigabyte version is blazing fast. They have a Snapdragon 2100. A lot of people were upset that the new one didn't get the 3100, but I don't think that CPU is faster. There's no benchmarks. There's no Geekbench for Wear OS chips. The Snapdragon 2100 that both of these have versus the newer 3100 processor. The only real thing I've seen online or read is that there is better battery savings with the 3100, the newer one, but these watches don't need it. Both of them are battery champs. Both of them last me 2 days. For example, I can wake up on a Monday morning. These things at 100% charge, it will last me all day Monday, all night Monday night. Wake up Tuesday morning, I'm still above 50% or 40% depending on how much I use them. They'll last me all the way to Tuesday night, sometimes longer until Tuesday morning. So easily good full 2 days. Haven't used this one on LTE yet, but in Bluetooth only mode, both of these last a good full 2 days. So the newer processor might be a tiny bit faster. Again, it's the Snapdragon 2100 that these have and the newer 3100. They're both 28 nanometer architecture. So there's no real performance gain. The biggest performance gain you can get is the extra ½ gigabyte of RAM. With the always, I pretty much have everything on except for always on display and the lift to wake gesture, because of the LCD always on. You can always see the time. Yeah, that LCD is such a crazy smart strategy, and I don't know. These have 2-day battery life. They really don't need the Snapdragon 3100. They're fine with their 2100. The extra gig of RAM is a huge game changer. Unusable garbage to blazing fast. The only real downside I have with these watches are even the new LTE Pro is Bluetooth 4.2 or 4.1. They could have put Bluetooth 5. That would have been really nice. That's the only thing I'm sad about. The new one doesn't have Bluetooth 5 for the better range and all the other things Bluetooth 5 gets you. But they do have Wi-Fi connectivity. Maybe they can do that trick where what Apple Watches do is, like, if you're in a big building with Wi-Fi everywhere and you're on the same Wi-Fi network, they can still talk to your phone across the Wi-Fi from all the way across the other side of the building. But here's kind of a speed test to show you how big of a difference the full gigabyte of RAM versus the half makes. So you can see right there, this just opens faster. Restart, I pretty much click that as close to the same time as you can. That's like as close as I've ever gotten it. One might have been slightly faster than the other by like half a second. Now, what I've seen is they kind of restart about the same amount of time, but the full gigabyte of RAM one, as soon as this is on, it is ready to go. This one takes like 3 to 5 minutes before it's usable after it powers back on. It's just freezing, it's laggy, it's at its worst. This one's fine as soon as you turn it back on. So this is kind of the real best way I can show you the gig RAM difference. So this one's already completed the startup. And you can see, boom, it's open instantly. Swipe up, notifications. Swipe down, you got your apps thing, you got your widgets, you got your Google Assistant. You got all your widgets, like everything is working. If I open my app drawer and I launch an app, boom, it's open. Okay, time for the Bluetooth one. This just turned on. Swipe up. Swipe up. Come on, I need to check my... Oh, there's my notifications. Swipe down. Let's go back home. Come on, swipe down. Come on, little Tic Watch, swipe down. Okay, we'll use our button. See, it's unusable. Like, look at that glitching all over the place. Okay, assistant. Oh yeah, I forgot. I have to press the button the way I've put the settings on here. Come on, go home. Okay, let's go to the widgets. So, look at this. Do you see that speed difference? Come on, widgets. Close, open, widgets. They both just restarted. Come on, widgets. Come on, widgets. And that's another thing that's really annoying about the Bluetooth one with the 1/2 gig of RAM. Sometimes you will ask it to do something and the screen just times out before it can complete your request. So time for Play Store. Let's fire them up. Okay, okay, this isn't even going to be fair. Come on. Okay, we got Play Store. App drawer. So I asked it to open the app drawer. The screen will go off as it's opening. And see, the screen timed out before the app drawer opened. Come on, app drawer. Trust me, this is as painful to use as it is to watch. Come on, app drawer. There we go. It's unusable. It's unusable garbage. This is a brand new watch. It has the latest version of Wear OS. All the software are up to date. It's 4 gigs internal storage. It's only 1 gigabyte full. Same thing as this. 4 gigs of internal storage, 1 gigabyte full. So they're not more than 85% full. They're only 25% full. They have 75% free space. They should not be cluttered. They're brand new. There's not a ton of cache files. Okay, come on. Let me
Play Store is kind of a heavy app. If I can find it, I'm doing this through my viewfinder. Okay, Play Store. Go. See, the 1/2 gig one kind of just crashed there. Welcome, start using gesture launcher. Maybe I launched the wrong one. Let's try this again. So that is pretty much an example of what we were dealing with. The LTE with the gigabyte feels pretty instant when you do anything, compared to this, where you just saw the Play Store open and it was horrendous.
So that was a request to launch Google Keep. I think the issue that they're struggling with here is they're both trying to sync to the same phone, but there we go. These at the same time. There we go. That was pretty much the same time. Boom. Look, we're open. So much quicker. Math games. Oh. There we go. You can see how much faster. So even after the Bluetooth version is up and firing, the full gigabyte of RAM is just snap, snap, snap. Done, done, done. Boom.
See the lag there, the delay? Come on, app drawer, you can do it. So this is one thing that the half gig of RAM makes a big difference on. Yes, I triggered that app store first, but you can see it opened instantly after being rebooted, and here we go, a minute later, the half gig RAM version is still firing up the App Store. Now, what I find what happens quite often with the Bluetooth version, welcome, start using gesture. Weird. Okay, there we go, we're in the App Store now. Whoa, that was laggy. Come on. So this is brand new. Got it. Did all the software updates. And it's just been like this out of the box. Like sometimes you do something like open your keep notes, and so this button should bring my keep notes on. Yeah. So I told it to open my keep notes, and before it even did, the screen timed out. That's why the half gig RAM version feels terrible. Like, let's see, this is the first time Keep Notes has been launched since it turned on, and it's opening pretty quick. This one here, see how the screen went off? See, it can't even respond before the screen times out. It's terrible. Half gig of RAM makes a huge difference. Okay, come on, let me do my test. Okay. Don't time out, please, don't time out. Come on, don't time out. Okay, we're gonna try and launch Play Store at the same time. Why do we even have to try to launch them at the same time? Wow, I'm actually shocked. My mind is actually blown right there that opened that quick.